this works. Hello. Hello, hello, as Natalie would say. Okay, so look at all my stuff here. Look at my cool dice. Ooh, listen to the sound of the dice rolling. Okay, so this is my little solo Cairn campaign. And this is my character sheet. And I'm kind of new to ttrpgs. I've never really played Dungeons and Dragons or anything like that, but Cairn seemed good and free and also easier than D&D. So this is just, they have a bunch of free stuff at cairnrpg.com, and this is their rule set right here. This is kind of like the warden screen. The warden's kind of like the dungeon master or whatever. So yeah, I've kind of been playing for just a little bit, and I've created my own little scenario here. And I think we're gonna just flesh out this world a little bit before I continue on with this little adventure. So I got this thing here that just came into mail. So we've got a little map here of stuff. And I'll talk about my characters in a sec, but this is my crudely, horribly drawn map, which you can kind of roll for. But we gotta name this region. We've never even named this. So let's find a cool table in here for names. Let's see, town names. Yeah, let's just go with town names. Or, yes, town names 140. Let's go there. Okay. And Cairn has its own like whole world and lore, but we don't care about that. So let's see here. We gotta, nope, and yes. All right. So what is this place called? Rolling this, we got a 85. So this is now called Lankut. Lankut. Something else. Lankut. Let's roll on. And 3. Lankut. Fakenham Parva. Okay, that's a lot. We'll call this Lankut. Lankot. Lankot. Fakenham Parva. That's where we are. Fakenham. That doesn't sound nice. Parva. Okay. I realize pencil doesn't really show up on stream, does it? Alright, so basically what's happened so far is we have a character named Falcon who's a Fletchwind. And I think we can see what a Fletchwind is over here. Yeah, this is a Fletchwind. So it's basically like an archer. It's basically like somebody with a bow. So his name is Falcon, and I just rolled for this character randomly, so don't think I'm super vain, because he's athletic, tanned, perfect face, beautiful formal clothing, just a perfect specimen. This is not reflecting me. So he's our main guy. So also realizing kind of tough to run an RPG totally dolo, but I figured that out on the first playthrough. But that's fine. He didn't die. We'll get into that. So basically he's got 14 will. So he's kind of got the willpower. Not great dexterity for an archer, very weak. But that's fine. But what's his deal? Alright, so his deal is He basically is beholden to this noble faction. He is works for this noble, wealthy family, and he wears this signet ring that basically reminds him of his duty to this family. And what is that duty? His duty is to protect this family and to they basically have a secret that they don't want coming out, and he's trying to investigate who might be trying to expose this secret. We don't know exactly what this secret is just yet. So in this world, we rolled up some factions. I'll move this so people can see all the 0 people watching. So we've got a few different factions in this land. We've got the Outlander criminals, we've got the thug cultists, and the military mystics. They're in different areas in this map. And it seems clear that the Outlander criminals are the ones who their agenda is to reveal this secret. So basically there's a powerful faction or figure that must be eliminated, and they want to reveal the secret in order to do that. And it's basically on us to prevent that from happening. That's our little backstory here. All right. So I've done a lot of journaling. We won't go into everything. Bottom line, didn't know what I was doing when I first started. He was very weak. I thought, oh, I'll just jump in and I just start killing people, and that's how this will work, but it didn't work that way. But I learned a lesson that it's better to use your imagination to find clever ways to get around things rather than to just engage in combat immediately. So our guy Falcon, right? Let's see. He starts off. I got his thing somewhere. All right, this is where we start off. So basically, he starts off. First place he goes is called the Gaping Moon Inn. He realizes, wow, there's some shady stuff happening in this Gaping Moon Inn. He realizes there's some illicit things going on out the back. He's like, oh, wow. Maybe if I follow some of these illegal scumbag Outlander criminals, I can kind of figure out where they have their lair. Maybe I can kind of get some information on this secret that they want to reveal about my noble family that I'm beholden to. And so he follows them. He sees, oh, wow, 2 of them have this basically ox cart filled with some illegal goods. They're trying to move it to their base. He's like, oh, I'm going to get the jump on them. Tries to attack, fails miserably. They crack him in the skull. He's basically left there dying. Amazing. He survives. Barely. He's better for it. He's got some scars on his face now, but he's good. His perfect face is now fucked. Okay, so he feels stronger. He actually gets some extra HP out of this, which is good because we need it. I realize I can't do this on my own. Retrace my steps. So we're kind of starting here. We're following these criminals. We get mashed. We return over here. We find essentially like this massive treehouse complex. It's got these squirrel people. And we meet our second character, Eowyn Gunner, who's basically a squirrel person, an academic, a healer, also pretty weak, somewhat more dexterous, which seems befitting of a squirrel person, stronger than me. I mean, a squirrel person, I guess, is a squirrel that's like in humanoid form. So anyway, we're like, hey, let's join up. You want to learn about your healing. You want to research your healing academic stuff. Very popular guy, bright-eyed, compulsive squirrel person that is beloved in his community. We're like, okay, we will hang out together. We will adventure together. So last session, that's what we did. We got these cool dungeon cards. What I've learned about playing solo is it's kind of a mistake to just like plan everything out ahead of time. Like you can roll all this like world building stuff and you can make like a whole map, kind of what I did. We haven't gone anywhere except for this little area, right? But why even do all this? Why even make all this stuff up just so, I mean, if you're running it solo, it's like what am I going to pretend like I don't know what I already made? No. Better to procedurally make things up. So that's kind of like what these cards do. You can kind of deal them out and create procedural dungeons with this, which is really cool. And that's kind of what we did the last time. And what we made was this. Move my dice. My purple dice. So I don't know if you can see this, but this is just the dungeon that was created randomly with the deck of many dungeons. Very happy about this. You can get this. This is Axebane's deck of many dungeons. You can't just buy it. You gotta kind of get it made and purchase it. They print it on demand. But I actually really like this thing, and it's cool for procedural dungeon generation. So basically, after meeting my squirrel friend Eowyn, we're like, all right, we need to find some money. We need to get some stuff before we try and take on the baddies. We're pretty weak, both of us, so let's go dungeon crawling. So we find what's called the Badger's Nest, and this is what it looked like. It looked like this. We got this room here. These are our little stairs down here. This is where we entered. Schmoop. We enter. It's super foggy. We search around. We see some bones. Nothing near the bones. We keep going. We're coming in this way. Doot, 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 doot. We see blood on the floor. It's a hidden pit trap. We avoid it narrowly. And it's good because everything is collapsing. So this is the pile of blood. All right. We try to get in through this shortcut. Doesn't work. All right. We keep going this way. In this room, 10 gold pieces. Boom. Lock right here. Lots and lots of gold coins in here. All types of gold. Chalice. What else is let's see, rubies. Can I draw a ruby? This might be tough. Yeah, a ruby. A shining ruby. Gold bars. Can't get in there. Don't get any of that stuff. That's fine. We grab this stuff, though. We continue on. Bunch of rocks over here. Let me get over the rocks. Okay. Coming around the bend. All the way over here. Finally, some bad guys. That's a skull. 3 goblins. They're digging a pit. This is the pit. This is a hallway with a broken bridge. A pit. They're over here digging. We're like, you know what? We're still too weak. Forget this. And we retrace our steps. And we get out this side entrance over here. That was our first little dungeon delve. We realize, okay, we got some supplies, we got some gold. I think totally now I have 29 gold. We split it equally. He's got 29 gold. You know, we found some rations, some boar meat after killing a boar. Shitty weather. We return to the squirrel village. So we're back here. Squirrel Treehouse Village. got some other books here. Traps, Puzzles, and Dungeons. This thing's cool. This just arrived. Look at all these pretty pictures. Haven't really used this yet. Not really sure how to use this on solo play. I get that this could be good for creating dungeons as a GM or as a warden in Cairn. There's some riddles. There's all types of stuff in here. Interesting traps. Blah blah blah. Look at that. That looks like a tavern. A miniature fortress. The Octogenarium. Alright, we'll get into this later. So, let's see. Where did we leave off completely? We left off after exiting through the same entrance and exploring and finding gold. We venture back to the treehouse, but on the way a tree falls on our path during bad weather. We find a way around the fallen tree during the bad rain, and we find a talking tree. That's right. And the tree is like, hey, I saw some adventurers before, and they were talking about trying to find a legendary library. That's kind of important. Maybe we're going to find this, especially because Eowyn Gunner, our squirrel person, is an academic. So he was like, legendary library, sign me up. But we don't know. The tree didn't know where it was. The tree can't move. The tree was like, they just passed by me, and they were talking about it. So we'll have to figure out where the legendary library is, because I feel like everyone wants to go there. But the tree, before we left, gave us a recipe for a healing potion, which was good. But it's got 6 ingredients that we don't know where to find them. The artist conch hops. Well, we probably know where to find hops. Dog tongue. I guess that's not hard to find. Renaissance stardust. That sounds rare. Calamus root, red cushion hypoxylon. What the hell is that? All right, so we're like, cool. We'll get to that. We continue back to the Squirrel People treehouse. After passing an acre of felled trees, we notice a group of 4 guards from the Squirrel People with 3 prisoners being held, being escorted in chains for deforestation. I guess these people, humans, had illegally cut down some of the Squirrel People's trees, and now they were under arrest. And of course, the guards were fond of Eowyn. Everybody likes him. Super popular guy in his village. And we leave, and now we're back at the Squirrel Treehouse Village. So I think the best thing for us to do right now is we have all this gold that we got, so let's check out. This is a general marketplace right here. I don't know if let's see if I can zoom in on this. This is kind of the general marketplace. Now, we both have 29 gold. So what do we have here? First, let's roll on, is there a marketplace at the Squirrel Village? I assume there is, but 4, 5, 6 is a yes. 1, 2, 3 is a no. Yes, 4 there is. Of course there is. Why wouldn't there be? So we shop. We shop. So what are we shopping for? What can we even afford at this point? And we should sell some stuff too, because at this point we did kill a boar. I know it's hard to see on our sheets here, but we've got plenty of stuff. The squirrel guy carries a mace. He's got armor. He's got a flask. He's got a lantern. He's got a ton of rations, all from the boar that we killed. Let's see, what do I have? What does Falcon have that is? Oh, just a few rations. 6, a serrated knife, his bow, which is a pretty sick bow. I think it causes dismemberment on a critical hit. Made from Cecil Oak. It's a 1d8. I've got a salve, and that's it. So we need some stuff here, but we want to sell. We want to sell some of our rations, especially Edwin. So how much is that? So let's see here. Armor, weapons, upkeep, hirelings, transport, gear. Don't really see that. Well, maybe we can't sell our... Maybe we can... Oh, here we go. Rations, 3 uses. Is there a price here? Upkeep and recovery. Wait, is there... There is a price here. Okay. So we've got 10 per 3 use ration. Let me zoom out, sorry. Okay. We're talking here. 10 per 3 rations. So let's sell some of this stuff. We got a 1, a 2, a 3. That's too many. So let's do this. 1, 2, and 3. So that's 30 more. So now we're up to 59. That's a ton. Falcon doesn't have as many though. He's just got enough for himself, so he's not selling shit. He does have a little bit of silver though. 14 silver, 29 gold. Alright, so Eowyn is like, alright, I'm rich now. What do I need? So... Spyglass, 40. Would that come in handy? Maybe. Ooh, we could hire somebody to come help us. Bodyguard. Lockpick. You know what? Maybe we might want to grab some. Ooh, compass, 75. That's a lot. Why? Why is that so much? Wow, bandages are expensive too. You know what I think we might need though? The lantern was pretty useful, and we only have 2 more uses out of that. So maybe the oil can. So let's grab the oil can, because we're gonna have to refill this lantern for sure. Whoopsie daisy. That's 49 now. We'll take that oil can with the 6 uses. I mean, the tent could be good because I feel like that gives us protection as we're camping in the from encounters, but honestly, I mean, a cart would be nice too. I mean, a horse would be really nice, but we don't have that much money. I mean, I guess we need a cart and a horse. He's already got pretty sick armor, so he's got +2 armor, so I don't think he really needs any of this. And let's see, he's got a mace that does D6. I mean... We could sell that and get a D8 spear. You know what? That sounds good. I see if he'll trade my shitty mace for the better mace. Are we gonna trade? Maybe I'll use my willpower to see. Hey, I'll tell you what. You give me half price, I'll trade my old mace in. And doing a willpower check. Let's see, I'm gonna do under 11. That's a 17, that's a no. That's a hard no. So we're like, all right, fine, fuck you. We'll just buy it straight out from you. So we're gonna spend 10 bucks, 10 gold pieces, 39. We're gonna buy the D8 mace. And we're just gonna hold on to the D6 mace at this point. We'll just hold on to that for now. Falcon, I mean, he's got the serrated knife, he's got boiled leather armor, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I tell you what, a helmet would be nice for him, and that would be 10. So let's do that. I mean, a helmet might be bad for his kind of eyesight, though. Let's see. I think we do it. I think he needs the armor. We're down to 19 gold. We're up to 2 armor. And we're buying the helmet, which gives a +1 armor. Alright, that is good. We shop. We shop. Alright. I think it's time to go back into the forest. At this point, also, we are in... What? What time of day is it, actually? We need to eat and sleep, because it's nighttime. So we each eat one of our rations, as to not get fatigued. This is his last of that ration. And we sleep in the squirrel village. All right, next morning we're like, time to go to the woods again. See if we can find out anything about that library. Maybe we'll go back and visit the talking tree. Maybe the talking tree's got more info. So the talking tree was this way. This is called the Smoky Woodland. That's what we rolled last time. So in Cairn, it's basically like time is divided into different watches. Now, if you read the rules, which are here, you know, you've got encounters, you've got all the stuff. You've got weather, etc. And watches are basically like 6-hour increments. So you've got 6, 12, 18, 24, 4 watches. Some people break it up into 6 4-hour watches. Basically, if you're not sleeping at least 6 hours, you're getting fatigued. Fatigue is like one inventory slot is being taken up with fatigue. So this is the talking tree here. This is 2 watches. In distance. So, got my own little extra notes here. So basically, in the wilderness, you kind of want to choose an event, exploration action, event role, and resolution. So first exploration action is to spend 1 watch traveling towards the talking tree. So it is now morning. We now are going to roll, as you see here. This is a D6 roll here. Encounter, sign, environment, loss, exhaustion, discovery. What happens on our first morning to noon watch? 4. It's a loss. So what do we lose? Well, I'm going to say we lose some of our rations. Falcon loses the rest of his rations of boar meat. And Awen loses a whole 3 rations as well. That sucks. By the way, we're going to refill our lantern now, just in case. We'll do it now. Use one of our oil cans, refill the lantern, which gets up to 5 uses. And that's that. So it's now noon. We're on our next 4-hour watch, and we're still headed west towards the talking tree. 2. Sign. The party discovers a clue or indication of a nearby encounter. Locality, hidden feature information. Alright. Let's see, what kind of sign do we see? Let's use our book of random tables to figure that out. Let's check our forest encounters table here. Well, it's not really an encounter, so let's see. Signs. Well, you know what? I see here there are 6 possible signs, right? We've got clue, spore, indication of nearby encounter, locality, hidden feature, or information about a nearby area. So that's 6. Let's roll the d6. 1. A clue. A clue about the library, perhaps, because that's what we're looking for. We see the tracks of the adventurers that the talking tree told us about. And the tracks are leading which direction? Northwest, south, or east? 1, 2, 3, or 4? 3. That would be south. We see tracks leading south. They seem like the adventurers the tree mentioned. Anyone really wants to go to this library because I'm sure there's some really cool shit there for him to learn about healing. We continue one last watch on our way to the talking tree. And it's a 3. A shift in weather or terrain. Why not use Cairn's little thing? I saw they have a thing here. This is some app they developed, which is kind of cool. So we're summertime. The weather, random weather, inclement. Add a fatigue or add +1 watch, increase terrain difficulty by a step. Alright, so the weather suddenly changes and it starts heavily raining. Heavy rain, +1 fatigue. Fatigue. Luckily we have the room for this fatigue. But the good news is, even with the fatigue, we make it all the way to the talking tree. Now, we want to know, talking tree, since the last time that we saw you, have you heard anything about the location of the legendary library? It's not just a regular library. That's why we gotta go. 1, no. It's sad because the tree basically can't move. He just has to sit there. The tree is still useless. We're like, okay, we're gonna hang out here with you though, because by this time it's evening. We both need to eat. We're both fatigued. We both need to rest. We both take out some more of the boar meat, which we killed last time. 2. 2. And don't have a tent, but we're gonna just sleep under the talking tree. Hopefully the talking tree talks us to sleep. He's kind of a grumpy, boring old tree. In fact, I think we rolled on what kind of tree he was. He's a willow tree, of course he is. Willow tree. Willow trees have kind of shady branches. So we're like, alright, this is kind of a shitty night and it's heavily raining, but we're going to take refuge into the talking tree. We're going to try and sleep our fatigue away to the morning. But let's see. We still may have an encounter because in the wilderness, even if we both try and get a good night's sleep, you never know what happens. So, last watch. One encounter, of course. So just as we try and get to sleep, we hear something. Now, we can roll our forest encounter. So where is that? We've got forest encounters, page 38. And we got our trusty, that's a d12. We're gonna need the good old 2 dice for this guy. And we're rolling on a forest encounter. And we've got a 73. A vagabond, a halfling vagabond. Okay. In the middle of the night. Halfling vagabond appears. Now, he might be useful. This is probably a good encounter. What is this halfling vagabond's name? Let's figure out who this person is. He's not just a bum. He's not just a... Okay, vagabond. He's just... He's a human being. So let's see here. Halfling names, 129. 129. And that is a 9, just a 9. Daisy. It's not a he. It's a halfling vagabond woman named Daisy. Daisy what? Do you have a second name, Daisy? Daisy wakes us, scares us awake, but we're like, she's like, hi, I'm Daisy. And we're like, oh, Daisy who? You have a second name? Yes, and that name is Daisy 68. Daisy Nivla. Okay. Daisy Nivla. Now, what is Daisy Nivla's disposition to us? We're going to roll our d12 on that. It's not obvious what, as it says here, this is important. Reactions. When the PCs encounter an NPC whose reaction to the party is not obvious, which is not obvious, I mean, they're wondering if they know, they just stumble across the location of this talking tree, or do they know where they were going? Daisy Nivla. What is your disposition? 6. Curious. It seems right. Daisy Nivla startles us awake. We're like, hey, we were both just trying to sleep. When we wake up, the talking tree wakes up. You know what? We never asked the talking tree what the talking tree's name was, so we're gonna go find a name for the talking tree now, too. Why not? Last time we were just like, tell us stuff. We don't even care who you are. No wonder he hasn't been so helpful. Knightly order names, inn names, halfling names, goblins names, elf names. You know, we're gonna go with elf names because I feel like elves are the tree lovers. So 126. Maybe this tree was given a name by an elf. And here we go. We got 14. Shalinar. I like that. It's like Shalimar, but Shalinar. The willow tree. Shalinar. So now we got Shalinar, Daisy Nivla, Falcon, and Eowyn. We're all hanging out. We're like, oh, you're curious? We're curious. Guess what? We're curious of the location of the legendary library. In your vagabonding, have you encountered such a thing? Also, you've woken us up and we were trying to get our fatigue, so you're gonna have to leave us alone if we want to get some sleep. Yes. Yes, Daisy's like, of course, I know where that is. I've seen it. I've been there. I've traveled a lot. And I can tell you, but you gotta give me some food. I'm like, okay, no problem. Let's all eat again. We won't sleep, but we'll eat. And we'll talk about this legendary library. So I'll tell you what. I use one of my rations for myself, one of my rations for Daisy. Eowyn uses one of his rations for himself. The fatigue is gone by eating. That can happen. Daisy's like, yum, thanks for the boar meat. Yeah, I'll tell you where it is. It's in north, south, east, and west. North. It's north of here, actually. I'm like, Tree, does this track? Do you remember which way those adventurers were going that passed by talking about the legendary library? Yes, absolutely. Yes. And now that you mention it, they were headed north. North of me. So north of the tree. North. North is kind of where the squirrel village is. We really shouldn't have put this map all the way over here. So here's the squirrel village, here's the talking tree. So we're thinking, how many watches north? 6. It's pretty far. 6 watches. Is the legendary library. Okay, great. So north of here is actually, let's see if we can look at this. This area is called the Golden Bridge Prairie. We've already decided that. Golden Bridge Prairie. So it's a nice place. It's really a very nice place, actually. We're headed there tomorrow. No problem. That's where we want to go. That's what we need to do. So we're like, hey Daisy, feel free to hang out with us tonight. We'll chill by the tree. She's like, sure, no problem, hanging out with you guys. The talking tree, the willow tree. I'm like, wonderful. We all go to sleep. The next morning, it's time to roll for weather again. The next morning, it's nice. Favorable conditions for travel. Clear skies and sunny. We're like perfect. Daisy, you're welcome to come with us. You don't have to. Yeah, we know you're a vagabond. She says, absolutely. All right. Not only will I come with you, I can be helpful. I'm like, okay, well, fantastic. We're off. So let's see here. To the library. 6 watches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Starting off in the morning. It is clear and sunny. We're like, thank you, tree. Here we go. Heading north through the forest. Another sign. Hey, we're on the right track. That's the sign. Wonderful. That's one watch. It's noon. One more watch north, and we should come to the end of the forest and the Golden Bridge Prairie. 1 encounter. All right. We should probably just leave it on forest encounters at this point. 38. Who's it gonna be? 33. A merchant caravan. Wow, merchant caravan with 2 D20 wagons. Okay. We got our D20 here. We got 19 plus 8. We got 27 wagons in this caravan. Holy shit. Okay. Second watch. You know what, we're gonna have to take this thing off. This is separate now. This is our map. This needs to be detachable. We encounter a 27 wagon caravan. Now, what might this caravan have? Because it's not just our regular stuff here. 27 wagons, that's a ton of stuff. So let's see, items. Booths in a market. Items in a wagon, 97. No. I don't want to have to roll this 27 times, but honestly, we could really roll until several times. Now, we're just curious. We don't really need anything. We do have some money. We could sell some stuff, but let's just see. Maybe there's something cool. Maybe there's something super cool that we didn't even know we wanted. That's called shopping, people. Items in a wagon. 2. Pickaxe. Don't think we need that. Items in a wagon. 34. Sacks of flour. Think we're good. Items in a wagon. We can do this up to 27 times if we have to. 87. Deed to a farm. Now that's an interesting one. Do we want to own a farm and just give up on everything? Just Daisy, the squirrel guy, and me. We just are like, we're done. We're done. Forget this. Forget that noble family that I owe my life to. We're just living on a farm. I mean, that must be an expensive thing. The deed to a farm. Love that, though. Could have just taken a real interesting turn. Things on a wagon. More pickaxes. Wow, rolled 2 again. 53. Crate of tin cups. I don't see how that's useful to anyone. 49. Great sword. Hey, not for us. We've already got weapons. 81. Whiskey bottles. Ooh. Whiskey bottles. You know what? This is gonna get fun now. 1d20 empty. 1d20 empty? What does that mean exactly? 1d20 empty. So they're empty whiskey bottles? Why would we want any of those? Things on a wagon, 45. Gold pieces, 1d6. Now, we're not stealing this shit, so that's just their gold. Things on a wagon, 42. Leather strips. Things on a wagon, 0, 0. That's 100. Arrow with an S on it. Now that's arrowhead with an S on it. Do I want this special arrowhead with an S on it just because I have a cool bow? Let's see what the S does. I'm going to ask them, what's the significance of this S? Does this S have any power? Special power? Nope. It's just an S carved on an arrowhead. Don't need that. Things on a wagon. 67. Canned fruit. 1d 100 jars. Let's see how many canned fruits there are. 53 jars of canned fruit. You know what? That honestly sounds good, but we can hunt for our food. No need. Things on a wagon. 82. Wooden chest locked. Hey, do you know what's in this chest? No. Okay. You don't know what's in this chest. Should we buy the mystery chest, people? Should we buy the mystery chest? I'm gonna say yes. Alright. I'm the most suave here, and I'm good looking, and I've got 14 willpower. I'm like, you don't know what's in it. It could be nothing. I'll give you 5 gold for this chest. No, nay, I will give you 3 gold for this chest. What do you say? Could be nothing in there. Could be empty. Oops, wrong dice. That's a sloppy ass roll. 17. Guy's like, nope, I'm not gonna take it. Not even close. Could be something real good in there. Like, alright, wasn't meant to be. That's fine. We tried. We were trying to Pokemon this situation. Random draw here, but you know what? You're no fun. Things in a wagon. 5 rum bottles. Okay, now we're getting fun here. Rum bottles, 1d20. 2 rum bottles. Very simple. I'll give you 1. No, look at this. 14 silver. 14 silver, you can have it all for 2 rum bottles. Do we have a deal? Yes, we do. We definitely do. Okay. Fantastic. No more silver for me. And instead, 2 rum bottles. Just want to make sure this is some high-proof rum. You know, the kind that we could Molotov. Gonna need to stop rolling in a sloppy manner. 3. Nope. But it's almost. Rum. ×2. Wonderful. Alright, fuck this caravan. We got what we came here for. Liquor. We are moving on. Afternoon. Three. Environment, shift in the weather. Let's roll our favorite thing here. We've got the weather, we got summer, we got a random roll. Ooh, extreme weather. Flooding. Wow. Add +1 to the watch. This would have been a check for 1 more watch, but no. We've got 2 watches now. And since it's evening now, we're like, fuck this. There's no point in even heading any further. We're just gonna see if we can chill here. Besides, we need to eat. Now, Daisy needs food too. But guess what? This is why we bought the rum. We're gonna share this rum. I'm gonna drink until the weather changes. We drink. We eat. And we decide in the morning it's time to hunt and gather food. Because we're basically at the edge of the forest now after 2.5, 3 watches. We've nearly made it. We've basically made it to this border right here. And this is the border of the forest. and the Golden Bridge Prairie. So we're here. We decide to relax after drinking our rum and eating our food, and we're gonna all call it in for a night in our little tent here. And let's see if we encounter anything. We do. Oh, you can never get a good night's sleep. 38. Every single night we encounter someone or something. So what do we encounter this time? Last time it was Daisy. This time it's a 46. Medicinal herbs. 1d10 times on the table. Okay. Somehow, in the middle of the night, maybe Daisy gets up. You know what? Maybe she's helpful. And she says, "Holy shit. Did you realize that we were sleeping next to a 1d10's worth of medicinal herbs?" And that is to say 6 medicinal herbs. Now, I'm wondering, should we pick them? Yes, we should. So, luckily we got Eowyn, and this is his deal. Medicinal herbs. Times 6. Now, what kind of herbs are these? Let's see, items and things. Medicinal herbs, 116. Of course there's a table for that. What are they called? 6 is what they're called. Bitter gourd. Bitter gourd. No problem. Great. Lovely. We're like, Daisy, go back to sleep. Alright. Next morning, we re-roll the weather. And we get... It's nice again. Every morning it's nice. Alright. We're like, you know what, before we go any farther, we really need to... We really need to gather some fruit or vegetables. So, are we successful? We all 3 of us now are going to look. So I'm going to say a 3d6 to see here. Rolling advantage. 5. Right away we're successful. So we're looking for fruit. Why not? We find I don't know what that is. Sagaratia? Sagaratia. The sag fruit. Gotta love that fruit. Yummy. Who doesn't like eating it? We all do. I gotta look this up. Chinese sweet plum. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Yummy. Very well. Chinese sweet plums is what we find. Okay. How many of those do we find? How many rations worth do we find on a D6 here? 2. That's fine. Chinese sweet plum. Now, we're going to continue to gather. Is Falcon successful? Yes, he is. But Falcons are a meat guy. Falcons are... Falcons are... vegetables guy. Falcons, like, what can we eat? We've had so much boar meat. We need some fiber here. We need some 46 lamb's lettuce. What does that look like? Oh, of course. Of course. Yummy lamb's lettuce. And how much of that? How many rations worth of lamb's lettuce? This should be a lot. 3. Wonderful. Okay. That was our morning. Gathering fruits and veggies. Now, Daisy's... Was Daisy successful in gathering anything, or was she just a bum vagabond? No, she wasn't. She's just a bum. She's just useless. She's just bumming around with us. She's just like hanging out with us for no reason. She's just like, hey, woke you guys up in the middle of the night. No problem. On to the next. One more watch to go. 2 more watches to go. 4. A loss. Did we lose Daisy? Yes, we totally lost Daisy. Now, that's sad. After gathering fruit and veggies, we lose Daisy. Basically, we all were looking for stuff. She went her own way. Turn around, she's not there. We're like, she must have just gone on her vagabond way. But that's cool with us. She was kind of dragging us down. This is a guy's adventure. It's now late afternoon. have one last watch before supposedly we've just been heading north this whole time. So, one more watch to go. And we see a sign. Now that's good. Because our main thing here is we want to explore and discover the main feature of this hex that we're on. And the main feature would be the legendary library. So as we finally approach we finally travel our 6 watches. It really took us 7 watches. It's the evening, and we're finally at this hex. We see people gathering at the far end of the prairie. There seems to be a path, and there seems to be a gathering at this end of this path. And we can see that there's actually a building there. It looks pretty unassuming. It looks pretty humble. But we're thinking, this has got to be the library. Why would all these people just be milling around in this random prairie gathering here? Have we finally made it to the library? No, but we're gonna go check it out anyway. Maybe these people will know where. We get to the building and we realize, oh, it's not a library. It's just a tavern. What's the name of this tavern? $136. $58. The oak and the alder. Now, an alder is a tree, right? Yes, it is a tree. The oak and the alder. Very well. Alright, so as we approach this tavern, the oak and the alder, how many people are milling about here? It's about a dozen people, 14 people. We can see them from a distance. We're wondering, surely somebody knows where the library is here. We go inside. We look around. We ask. First person we come across. Now, we're in human territory right now. So we're wondering. Who's the first person we see? Male or female here? Male. 133. Rockwell. Guy in the tavern. Rockwell. Like, excuse me, sir. Do you know the library, legendary library, hereabouts? Of course I do. He's like, I do, but I don't know how to get there. I've heard of it. I know it's here somewhere. We're wondering. Where's my D12? What's his reaction to us? 7. He's curious. He's like, yeah, I've heard of it, but so what? I'm like, look, we're just heard of this place. My friend here, this squirrel man, Eowyn. He's a healer. He's an academic. We just want to check out some books. No problem. Tell you what, we've got some rum here. You want some rum? It's like, hell no, I hate rum. Fuck that. I'm like, alright, well, thank you anyway. We'll ask someone else. Who do we ask? We wander over to the other side of the tavern. Fuck Rockwell. We find a female. It's always better. Always more helpful people. Fuck these guys. We're gonna roll on this female here. We're gonna do human females, and we are going to roll up 69. Rochelle. We're like, hey, Rochelle. Excuse me. Do you happen to know where the library is, Rochelle? Rockwell and Rochelle. She's like, nope. She's like, no, I don't. We're like, are you sure you don't know? Or are you just trying to be hostile to us? She's like, yes, I'm literally hostile. Rochelle. Hostile. She doesn't know. She's like, fuck off. But I'm like, you know what? I'm so suave and handsome. With my will check, I'm like, are you sure, Rochelle? I'm like, we know it's near here. We just wanna look at the squirrel guy. He just wants to read his books. Like, give him a break. Please look into my eyes and my perfect face. And although my speech is cryptic and I wear formal clothing, you know you don't want to be so hostile. And of course that works. She's like, I'm just wary now. I'm like, I'm gonna ask you one more time. Please, where's the library? Do you know? Yes, of course you do. Knows where the library is. I'm like, look, Rochelle, you seem sweet. Even though you were hostile at first, I get that. We're strangers. This guy's a squirrel guy. You don't know us. Can you tell us how to get to the library? No, but Maybe I could be persuaded. I'm like, I've got rum. I've got some rum. You think if I give you some of this rum, you might tell us? Yes, definitely. That's what I thought. I knew this rum would come in handy. Always does. So, Rochelle and I and Eowyn drink. Eowyn's very compulsive and bright-eyed and always popular with the ladies and otherwise, so this is fine. We're all drinking. We're all loving it. We're like, look, we'll tell you about our stupid adventures, the goddamn talking tree, all that shit. We just want to learn about healing. I want to do some research about this secret and these outlander criminals. She's like, okay. It's right over there. She goes out the shitty little window. She points over. She's like, see that little path over there? Boom. Follow that. It's like 10 minutes over that way. Fantastic. We're like, Rochelle, we love you. I knew you were hostile at first, but this is what happens. You know what, that's a good place to leave it. I think we're going to leave it right there. Now we know where the library is. Next time we'll make a very pretty hex thing of all this. Don't you worry. And thanks for watching.